Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to everyone. Before I start my presentation, I would like to say that the material I'm going to present is mainly prepared by the TNT group, chaired by Ms. Marike Ligwater from MVO. So, question that you're going to pose probably can be answered by them as well. I'll be updating the delegates, members now on the supply chain models and the current reviews that's happening now. The principal objective of RSPO is to promote the growth and use of sustainable palm oil through cooperation within the supply chain and open dialogue between stakeholders. This is the main objective of RSPO. And members of RSPO, participants, the activities came from many backgrounds, growers, industries, NGOs, and so on. We have principles and criteria for growers to comply with, and for the certification body to come and audit them. PNC was developed in 2007 and designed to be used by the palm producer growers to implement sustainable production practices. And the CB will come and use these documents to certify, to verify the growers whether they comply with the requirement or not. And the supply chain standard, or what we call SSES, developed into 2009, describe requirement related to control of RSPO, certified palm products along the supply chain. And this supply chain standard was presented in series of auditable requirements designed to be used by organizations in the palm supply chain to demonstrate implemented system for control of RSPO certified in oil palm products. This is the process flow of how the palm products being traded and being changed from one entity to another. The first, at the right-hand side, the green ones is where the grower, the plantation company, and the mill will produce FFB, or fresh fruit branches, and this go to the mill. And the mill will then produce CPO and PK. These are the two products being certified, the CPO and PK, and this product will then be passed further to refineries and then to manufacturers and so on. Yeah? So the green one, the grower will need to use or to comply with principal criteria 207, whereas the supply chains companies will need to comply with supply chain certificate system 2009. Those are the two most important documents in the production and trade of palm oil products. It's a lot of words there, but I think most of you know how the system works. The portion I'm going to talk about is about this on this the pink color portion, RSPO supply chain model. Yeah? The SSES 2009, the standard were developed to meet certain requirements or provide clarity on specific issues understood at that time. Yeah? As new knowledge emerged, certain documents or rules of the game need to be changed or updated. The RSPO supply chain certificate system document 2009 require substantial revision in order to transform the current documents into coherent normative standard for supply chain certification and to incorporate new range of amendments that need to be made since the documents was issued in 2009. What I'm saying here is there are a lot of lessons learned since 2009, and we see that there are need to update these documents. When SSC was approved in 2009, clause was stated in that document saying that the document will be reviewed within 1 year. And now we're already in 2011. We already passed that 1 year. The document also contains some obsolete sections, especially pertaining to the self-assessment that was included into the first document. Lessons learned through practical implementation will provide new knowledge. Yeah, a lot of audits has been done. You heard yesterday or probably this morning, there are now more than 200 companies has received supply chain certificates. Yeah, so through that process, we learned a lot of things already. And also, we need to incorporate other relevant decisions made and issued to the industry thereafter. Revision process that has been taken place was done through the group that responsible for this has gone through documentation checks, meaning that review of documents, and then intense discussion with relevant stakeholders. A lot of discussions happen, and consultation with work groups selected from TNT SC members. TNT has Treat and Traceability Standing Committee members chaired by Mr. Hede van Kersen. So his group has gone through these documents many times, various processes, meetings, emails, exchange, and so on. They have been through this since mid of this year, if I'm mistaken. Yeah? So there's a lot of things happened, a lot of things have been said, many things have been discussed within this group. The aim of revision is that the revised documents looking into establishing the minimum requirement of a consistent methodology for enabling certification against intent and requirements of RSPO supply chain standard to enable all certification bodies to operate in a consistent control manner. This is very important because there's a lot of the variation in terms of interpretation between CBs, between companies, and so on. So that's, we need to make it consistent. Providing documentation designed to assure long-term continuity and consistency of the delivery of certificates against requirement of supply chain standards. That's very important. Ensuring that claims of RSPO members relating to production, procurement, and use of RSPO that all products are true. That's the bottom line. Yeah, we want to make sure that any products carrying our logo or being claimed to be RSPO actually came from certified sources. Points for consideration during the discussion, during the working groups, during the standing committees is that they have a choice to be made between lengthy review process where more contentious points had to be further discussed, or a rapid review resulting in improved version soon, but not taking all the points long. So that's the choice that the group has, whether we want to do go through long processes of taking everything, considering everything, or just a rapid process to come out with some documents that we can work with. It was agreed that a rapid review is more rapid review was the option. This means that the scope was limited to removing dead woods, removing the unwanted things, and take along the input of RSPO supply chain working group 1 and 2, and further comments the team agreed on. So the group has decided to go through the option number 1, whereby we do a rapid review of this and come up with documents that we can live with at this point of time. The result of the revision is that 2 documents in produce. One is the standard, containing requirement for companies looking for certification and for CB to verify compliance. And the second document is certification system documents containing requirement for CB and certifying against the standard. So previously, document 2009, only one document comprising a lot of annexes or appendices. But now, the new documents will be split into 2 documents. One is standard itself, and then number 2 is this certification system. Important changes in this document is that improve readability through removal of unwanted sentences and so on. And lifetime of certificates will now be 5 years instead of 1 year. Previously, documents stated that certificate will be 1 year for those who traded more than 500 metric ton per year, and then 3 years for those who traded less than 500 metric ton per year. So now the document says that certificate validity will be 5 years, regardless how much you trade, yeah? But of course with yearly surveillance. And the rules for supply chain for the mills have been greatly cleared up through additions of separate modules for that purpose. The original document doesn't say anything about mills. RSPO issued an announcement letter pertaining to the mill certification, but now this new document will contain or will incorporate that requirement into these documents. And of course, these new documents will have explanation, clarification on rules for multi-site certification. Those who are familiar with certification know that this is important, especially in oil palm industry, where companies own many other sub-industries within their own group. So multi-site is very, very important, and requirement in this new documents now make it clearer. And moving forward, this document will be submitted to the EB for approval. This is important news, important message, that this document has not been approved by EB yet. What I just said just now is just recommendation from the group. This it will be submitted to EB for approval, and it will enter into force only after EB approval. And RSPO, the moment after EB has approved it, RSPO will publish this approved document on its website. Then RSPO will communicate to CBs and members of how to apply these documents, and of course RSPO will then run CB training program to ensure consistent reading and interpretation of these documents. So for the CBs who are here, don't worry, you will be told how to use these documents. It's important because we need to ensure that everything is applied consistently throughout. Other points for considerations that was not taken in this revision is that RSPO membership requirement for operators who want SS certification was not clearly spelled out yet. Option for doing mass balance across different facilities. That's something, critical issues that need to be thought more thoroughly. And discussion on what are major and minor requirements. The current document saying that any facilities audited by CB receive any non-compliances cannot be certified. So this new document may need to look into what are the major, what are the minor requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my presentation, and I'm happy to receive any question. Thank you.